That's the first thing. The second thing is, of course, that you have the Kalyanamitta is not only the people you're surrounding you with, but one very important factor of the spiritual friendship, the Kalyanamitta, is the teacher that you have. It's extremely important to have a good teacher. And ideally, the kind of teacher you have is somebody who has a full appreciation of the Buddha's teachings, who has insight into those teachings that the Buddha gave 2,500 years ago. So this is one of the things, if you can find a good monastery, a good place that has a teacher which has that sort of insight, it is wonderful, because you come into the presence of the living Dhamma, the living teaching of the Buddha as he gave it 2,500 years ago. Because it is those people today who realize those teachings, they are the living example that it's still possible to practice those teachings 2,500 years after the Buddha. So this is one of the wonderful, wonderful things. It's great to have books, of course, about Buddhism and read what the Buddha said. This is very important. But sometimes if you only have the books and you don't actually have the living example, it's as if something is missing. It's like the moisture is missing, or something is not there which should be there. It's only when it comes alive in actual people that you see around you. When you see somebody in your life who you find inspiring, when you see somebody who lives up to the example of the Buddha's teaching, that when it becomes really real. So for me, that is extremely important. So that is the second aspect of monastic life, is that you come close to these kind of teachers. Ideally, you live with a teacher who has these kind of qualities, and you then become conditioned, you become influenced, and slowly but surely you're moving in the same way.